Hello and welcome, as this is the completion of the 19th day of January 2020. My name is Derek, as we are entering into Monday, the 20th. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. And let's take a look at Bitcoin. I did a video yesterday, and I'll follow through on that in a bit. But for now, price action in here was rallying up to 20,000. So it's down more than half, well, more than 2 times from this high. Then it went down from this low. Well, that was low 3,000, so that's almost triple actually, but almost certainly well more than double, but pretty much triple almost, not quite. And it has been close to quad, but well over triple before. That's just volatility, of course, of cryptos. And not shown in here was previous price action when, well, it's up a lot more than triple and 5 and whatever X, depending on how far back you want to go. So then let's take a look at where we stand just with a few periods. Uptrend, it was going down, downtrend, price action staying below the 18 average of lows. Then it got into it on November the 27th. Not quite enough to flatten it out, but albeit close in a bit here. But really, no, if you didn't deem this as flat, I mean, because it was still declining, you most certainly had to hear. But then at some point you could say, okay, right around after Christmas, this thing's starting to rise higher. And the statement of the big breakout on January 6th. One leg higher, sideways consolidation, one leg higher. Now a continuation of sideways consolidation with one heck of a very volatile day today. Outside day, an outside period, but because it's a daily time frame, I can be safe in calling it an outside day, is where you have a high higher than the previous day. And well, this high, of course, is high is not seen since well back to we're looking at early November. So we made several month highs, 2 month highs, and then we made this low, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 day lows. So you can get specific to an outside day. Okay, it's an outside day. How long has it been for the high and low? Well, there's your answer for that. Which means it has broken through this level of support. It broke through all shorter term levels of resistance. And yesterday I made a video about, it broke out this hour, which, well, failed breakout. Obviously, you can tell just by looking at this. When we take a look at the single hour term, well, this was the hourly breakout at 20 hours yesterday. And then after the fact, how did it react? Well, we come down and we test into this 18 average. A little bit of rising in here, but nothing to even, doesn't even tempt really to break out too much. No, not even at all, really. And then where we came from in here. Didn't find support there, did you? No. And then this area where it came from, no. And then this area where we found support before, yeah, we did find support, and we still are supporting that particular area. So continuation of the range, the first area of the support that is established has just been continued to be into play. Of course, resistance has most certainly been reestablished. The big one is right here, around 89.20. Then getting above that, now at 91.95. So what we'll do is we'll put a line in the previous must-hold area, which it didn't hold. And thus, now this is most certainly a failed break with already a fast move that's already accompanied it. Whether it be any further ones after that, we'll see. So, short term, let's just go to the 1 minute, just skip to the chase because this happened fast. As you can see, I mean, this is, that was just a big decline, but that wasn't the decline. That was the one that happened at 1700 hours earlier when it fell from 8,700 down to 8,500, but then it rebounded back. So far, so fine. But this was the fall. But so support at the, I mean, I don't know. Not on the 1 minute time frame. Maybe for 10 or 20 seconds there might have been support there. It couldn't have been much more than that if it was. If there was, there wasn't any at all. The decline on this period was 0.43% for the hour. For the minute, that minute. Not that big of a red candle, most certainly. This one's like nothing at all before that. That last 0.11%. And really, 0.11% is losing nothing, really. And then 1.5% it loses at 6:01 a.m. Eastern Time, losing more at 2.58% the next minute. The next minute it loses 1. And then you have your follow through 1.72% rally from that point. So whatever, you can day trade at that. The volatility shrunken right immediately. And then price action, of course, has continued to range pretty much throughout the entire session. As we can see, just a little bit of hairball of volatility that came in with a more intraday failed breakout here. And then the failed breakout fast move lower. The fast move lower was a failed fast move lower because of however you want to call it. Fast move layer hasn't had a fast move higher yet. And it's just continued now to be neutral, of course, now with more lower volatility. And amongst the lower volatility, it's just made a statement recently on the 1 minute time frame that it wants to revert the trend. But because of that, that is so short term. I really don't give it a shit about that so much. So let's continue on. Include this on the more longer term time frame, which is the weekly. And we're seeing it, like I say, like up how much? So since here it's up about 2,000 plus times, and even was rallying up here, it's up about 13 times. Even from this top, it's up about 8 or 7, and then from the low, well, it's doing okay, and it has a little bit of volatility here and there, and here and there is a lot, and the volatility can be a lot too. And the nature of the game, I mean, whatever, it's just numbers. Numbers are just that. They're like a 1 and a 4 and a 5 and a 0. There are 10 of them on the single digit decimal scaling, and there's 2 on binary, whatever on that. But the numbers would lie. It either works or it doesn't. It being Bitcoin as a cryptocurrency that people are going to continue to use and want in the future. And if they don't want it, then these prices ain't going to hold. So you talk about like 2 and 4 and 10x's. I mean, that's nothing. And then there's that of Bitcoin working. So I'm going to do the upper end of the scale. And well, this is like 96. No, it's not 96,000. It's 946,000 up here. That's about 1 million up at this point. And given the rate of ascent right now, I guess maybe at some point, maybe it might continue to do something like this. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't. But if it does happen to come up here, that would be 275,000, which is only like 30 times higher, which is 2 numbers. The 3 looks like this, and the 0 looks like this. Now, this is grade 2 math, of course. No, I mean, teaching the 3 and the 0. But teaching how these numbers are so big on a realistic level is stuff that should be understandable for students as early as grade 9 mathematics. It's there, you know it. And then it's either going to work or it doesn't. When it works and you know I got X amount invested and I get X amount of times back, then it'll be worth that much. It's one number multiply the other. Anyway, as far as what I'm looking at here, yeah, it's either going to work or it's not. If this thing starts to break out higher from this could easily be big for that exact event. I talk about on the 1 minute time frame. It doesn't mean anything about that move because it really doesn't. The situation, how it plays from here, kind of does mean a decent amount, actually. We had this low, which, well, when you have a move from like key low, key high, key low, key high, you're expecting to make a higher low. This is your must hold area. It didn't go there. It did one leg higher, one floor higher, however you want to look at it. This rally attempt, say it's a failure if you wish, but can it succeed its rally's attempt correctionary move? Well, this is a higher low to here, and its must hold area is the same thing, because this is the must hold area from this move to this move, sort of like from here to here. This was the must hold. So it's almost doing the almost similar sort of thing and supporting one leg or one floor higher. So the previous week, which is the one that just ended, I believe, because it's a new week on Monday, January. Yeah, that would be the previous. Oh. Okay. Yep, for sure. So last week, the one just ended, had a move getting above the 18 average of highs, albeit barely noticeably. This is now going to make, because of last week's low, coming in pretty much near the close, a lot higher than where it's been in quite some time. We can see the early stages of how this 18 average is starting to rise. And if momentum, of course, can continue to go higher, then the same thing is going to be soon with the 18 on the high end as well. And thus the attempt in resuming or reverting the market. And I'd have to think in this case, I can make a case for both because there is some lower lows. So you can say we were in a bear market. Can we revert it to bull, resume it to bull, whichever word? It's irrelevant either way. We know the previous levels of where it came from was in here. So that's an area for resistance. And usually speaking, in a bull market situation, when you talk about the primary trends and situations, if we're making higher lows like this, we made the higher low here, that if it comes up to this point, this is where I would deem it in the weak resistance point. I don't know if it's even going to be much or any at all. Much is in the sense maybe it just goes sideways or we just come down just a bit, thus making another higher low or a cup and handle formation, something not like that, but like that kind of deal. But either way, this is an interesting attempt because this is that next level. Well, there's only one other previous high before that, and that's the all-time high. So breaking above last high is this one. And these moves, when they get in the breakout stages, sort of like we've seen in here. Well, maybe a little bit like this, or a lot. But when they get above the 18 average of highs in the bull markets, times when they have them, they can be fast and furious. And whether this will be real or not, if it's real, well, there's a good chance it would be just that and fast and furious. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.